Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the amazing, the incredible, don't gas it up too much, Chat Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast. I am Chris Dredd. I'm here with my main man, JB, and we're here with another review. I know you've probably been missing us, but we are here. What's going on, JB? How you doing, man?
Well, what a week. What
a week.
fucking week. I think it's worth us diving into it straight away just to get it out of the way, because this is a review show. This isn't one of our shooting the shit kind of shows, but it's been a hell of a week. Let's get this straight and out of the way quickly. Today is Sunday, a recording day. So we are in the middle of SummerSlam / NXT. NXT hasn't happened yet. SummerSlam has. Rampage happened. And I'm almost fucking certain that the best Chris in all of podcasting, and I mean that, that can anyone named Chris can take it however the fuck they want. I don't care. The best Chris has a take on it. So take it away, Chris.
And let's be honest. Let's hope it's not a terrible wrestling take, because there's only one of those, and that is our main man, Bishop. Shout out to my brother, our man in the States.
Big shout to Bishop, because I, for some insane reason, was allowed to jump on his Twitter space last night for SummerSlam for his watch along, and him and Justin at Justin Time 211, they were killing it. It was a lot of fun until I tapped out at around 2:45 our time in the morning. I think there was probably about an hour and a half left of the show. I just couldn't handle it. I was so tired. I just had to go.
Because you weren't on the beak, because you're straight edge. You weren't on the beak, dude.
Because I drink things like grape soda.
That's right, man. I'm on one of the most British of drinks as well at the moment, dandelion and burdock.
Oh shit, dandelion and burdock.
Fucking, who knows about the dandelion and burdock? Big up yourselves.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm almost certain here that it definitely butters his parsnip.
Oh, for sure. It puts lead in my pencil. It butters my parsnip. It does all of the above.
There's a phrase that picked up a fair bit of traction last time. Buttering of a parsnip. So let's talk Rampage really quick. I did watch Dynamite. I didn't enjoy it. Again, we mention it every week when we chat in the week. I say I'm watching Dynamite. You send a laughing emoji. I say something disparaging about the whole fucking thing. That's just how it goes.
It's a thing.
Rampage, I set my alarm. I got up early. I got up at 3 a.m. to watch it, our time, and then watched the hour show. Wish I hadn't seen the second half an hour of it, and then went back to bed because I had work.
Yep.
So
it's still grinding.
Yeah. So you saw it. What did you think?
Well, if I'm honest, I also watched Dynamite. I was happy that, but I was happy that MJF won.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it had to go that way. We spoke about it on It's a Shoot, brother. We spoke about it, and we said there was only one way it was ever going to go. One way it could go, and that's MJF winning it. However it happened, it happened. It's just more meh booking, really. But it happened. Rampage. Now, if people have had their heads in the sand up their asses, they wouldn't know. But anyone who knows anything about the wrestling world at the moment knows about the talk that CM Punk was coming back to wrestling, and he was going to be signed by AEW.
It was the worst kept secret in wrestling.
It was the worst kept secret in wrestling. It was basically done to sell out the Chicago arena that they were in, timed in that way, leaked in that way. So basically it was a partnership with the rag sheets, basically doing the bidding of Tony Khan. It happened. CM Punk turned up on Rampage. Did you so happen to see the media thing happened afterwards, which is basically, it was on YouTube and it was like 50 minutes and it was CM Punk and Tony Khan in front of a mic.
Oh man, it was the worst side of wrestling journalism I've ever seen. It was all the invited guests that were asked, that were in, some of the wrestling journalists, and there's my quotations. Man, these guys fucking marks, and not even in the good way, like weird marks. It's the way that, it's boot licking, it's ass kissing, it's brown nose, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's powder puff questions. And I would name them if I could be bothered, but
yeah. I mean, I basically saw it when it started, and it was Tony Khan grinning like a child.
Cat that got the cream. Yeah.
Yeah, cat that got the cream. It was slightly sickening. But that said, Rampage, the way they did it was all right. It was,
they had to do it that way.
They had, because you couldn't long out the show, because the whole show would have just been the whole crowd chanting CM Punk for the whole fucking hour. So they had to bring him out straight away.
You're telling me that fans would try and hijack a show with their shit chanting?
I hard to believe, I know, but yes. And so they had to do it. He had to come out and sit cross-legged in the middle of the ring. He had to do it. Yeah, it was all right. It was, I mean,
I was all for it. He came out. It was massive pop, huge pop. Let's not, dig too far into what we were seeing. People saying the greatest pop of all time, biggest pop of all time. No, it wasn't. It was man, getting his ego stroked in his hometown.
I mean, was
fine. That's totally fine.
Great.
But his promo was all right. He said he was winging it up until the point where he called out Darby. And at that point, you realize it's two baby faces going at it in Chicago, in his hometown, at All Out. And Darby's going to get booed, and Punk ain't coming to lose.
Yeah, of course. Punk ain't going to lose. Of course he's not. Like, I mean, I like I say, I wouldn't have started him off against Darby Allin. I really wouldn't. Whether Punk has chosen Darby Allin because possibly Sting could get involved, and then I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Of heels that should have been sticking their nose in that one.
There should have definitely. I think someone could have interrupted him.
I mean, 7 years, you might just give him that moment.
But then
someone will interrupt him on Wednesday.
Well, this is what I'm hoping. So he's going to come, he's going to batter Darby Allin. It's a weird one that basically they're just using. Like I say, it's just a weird one, that one for me. And then hopefully it's someone like MJF. I would love to see MJF just calling him Philip. I can't wait for that. I'm here for that. So I'm not going to take a tornado turd on AEW. They filled out the arena. They packed it with people. The pop was nice. It was a hometown thing.
And then they got a dead show afterwards.
Oh, the whole show was completely dead afterwards. It was completely on its ass.
It was crap.
I mean, there was only, that was it. That's what people came to see. They ended up with ice creams as well.
Yeah, but outside of that, we spoke about Jade Cargill in our last episode. And, there is clearly a reason why she's not working the main shows. She slingshotted someone into a rope last week on Dark or whatever it was, or Elevation. How many shows do they have? It wasn't good. This week on Rampage, she gets Kira Hogan, who's in her third match after joining from Impact Wrestling. She's 0-3. I'm like, Oh man, she might have made the wrong choice.
Yeah, I mean, they're just it's weird sometimes what they do to people in AEW.
That forbidden door needs to lock if you're just going to job people on it.
I mean, but that's why they're pushing Jade Cargill so hard. Yeah. And they, you know, the AEW marks are always talking shit about Vince McMahon and WWE pushing these muscle guys who can't work. But look what they're doing with Jade Cargill. She's a muscle gal, you know what I mean? And they're pushing her, but she can't work, bruv.
Yeah, that's something she needs to work on. And the other problem I had was the main event. It was, you know, one of your very, very classic WCW TV time remaining matches at the end of, like, you know, your nitros where Goldberg would get 2 minutes to obliterate someone. That was with his entrance. And this happened on Rampage where poor old Moxley got 3-4 minutes for his entrance, and then you realize there's only 4 minutes left of the show. And so they had to squeeze in as much as they could in 4 minutes, as well as run-ins and Sting and Darby out there to celebrate at the end of the show. So Darby celebrating as a big baby face with the babyface team. And now you've got until the 5th of September, which is how long away? 2 weeks?
Yeah, about that.
Weeks,
yeah.
To turn him around, because you can't book him as a babyface. He'll get a few girly screams. Like Hardy, but that's it.
Like I say, I can't shit on CM Punk's entrance into AEW. Fuck knows, and I will reiterate that. Fuck knows how much money Tony Khan has spent on getting CM Punk. Let's just speculate on that.
7 figures.
You know, we're talking big money here, yeah. Like
talking a milli.
We're talking a milli. You know, we're talking. You know what I mean? We're talking bucks. So, you know, great. And yes, it is going to be, because I listened, shout out again to our man Bishop, Terrible Wrestling Takes. I listened to his Ask Bishop, and he kind of, I was in the realm of that. I actually thought it was a bit of a ploy by AEW and the rag sheets to just get more eyes watching AEW, and that there was a possibility that CM Punk weren't going to turn up. You also kind of were looking at that as a possibility as well. Basically saying that, look, they, you know, all this stuff they're putting out there about Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk was kind of, they were longing it out to get people to watch it, which, yes, that's what they did. But I truly think that Chicago would have rioted if CM Punk didn't show up. So, you know, yes, I was slightly, what's the word? Yanking the cranks of the AEW marks on the groups and stuff, saying, nah, he ain't gonna fucking show up, mate, whatever, you know. And it part of me did think, nah, man, he ain't gonna show up, you know, because it had been pushed so hard. I thought, nah, he's not gonna show. But then the closer we got to it, it was like, if he doesn't show, literally it would be an LOD Chicago street fight in Chicago, all against all, fucking brutality. So he had to show up in the end. So, you know,
he did produce. So
he produced, and you know, whether we're gonna get you know, whether we're gonna get the CM Punk that people, you know, we're gonna get that Phil. Are we gonna get him? Right, look at his little smirky face.
Yeah.
Next to Hardy, who's also in AEW at the moment. Cena's popping his little head up. He was there at SummerSlam. Triple H as well. Let's talk about Triple H for a moment. He announced something that NXT UK were a partnership with Enfield Town Football Club.
Yes, we spoke about this. Funnily enough, I got asked about this last night.
I actually bought their shirt, bro. I've actually bought. Yeah,
I went at the shop. I was very tempted to look at it. Like, I looked at
I pre-ordered, bro. I'm fucking waiting for my Enfield Town / NXT UK football shirt.
Fair play. I did see it, and I did have a little look to check the price and see if it was worth it. I don't remember what happened. I think I got sidetracked because I was doing something. But
I made an impulse buy. I just thought, you know what? I'm a Tottenham fan, which ain't too far from Enfield. Yeah, all right. What was the score in the end today with your boys? It was 0-0 when I watched.
Missed it. The game's called off.
Yeah, it was good. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's Enfield. I've got family live in Enfield. You know what I mean? It's North London. It's pretty close to Tottenham, so I've got no problem wearing an Enfield Town football shirt. The fact that it's got NXT UK written on the front of it, it's the collector's edition. You know what I mean? I thought, fuck it, man, impulse buy. I've done it. I'm sorry. Oh well, sorry, not sorry. Actually, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean?
Moving over slightly.
Yeah.
Let's jump to SummerSlam quickly because people want to hear about what we got to say about the Battle Royal. Obviously,
well, basically, can I just quickly say as well about, like, are we going to get the CM Punk that we are used to? No, I think now, literally, and this is my fucking take on it, my hot take. It's all downhill from now, bruv. Like, they're not gonna. That was the pinnacle. Excuse the pun.
well,
That was the peak.
Will he move the needle?
Well, I think the ratings will go up for a little while.
Did we get the numbers for Rampage yet?
I don't know, mate. No, I haven't seen it. But like I say, I can't see. I mean, I can't see the booking getting any better. And they've got CM Punk, great get, but what are they going to do with him? That's going to be the question. And I don't know the answer yet. So, I mean, for me, that was the peak. They've literally, they've blown their wad already with CM Punk in my eyes. Like, that's it. All the hype, they've got him. They've blown their wad. Tony Khan's fucking bukakied. He's covered in the CM Punk love. And I think it's all downhill from here now. I honestly, I can't see them getting much better. I mean, Bryan Danielson, if he shows up, could probably have some good matches with CM Punk. Great, that might be good.
He's due to turn up at the New York show, the one at is it Stan Smith Stadium or something? No.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Bryan Danielson turns up, CM Punk and him will probably have a good couple of matches. Moxley just annoys me. The way he does his face and the way he was bowling into Dynamite and then got battered by 2.0. Like, I was like, good, you're walking like a wanker. Good. Sorry, he's a twat.
Let's jump into SummerSlam. Very, very hit and miss. Becky Lynch is back. She wins the SmackDown Women's title in 2 moves. She beats Bianca Belair. People straight away, some of these great journalists, the Rag Sheik's brother, saying how buried she is and how, this is terrible. This is so, well, that's how surprise works, man. Like, what are they going to do? Wrestle a full-on match, knowing full and well that Bianca hadn't prepared for Becky.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it was a great idea, because I don't think it is a good idea changing your title, but nobody's buried. They'll have matches all through the autumn and maybe even the winter. That feud is only just beginning. Nobody's buried. Brock Lesnar's back as well. He's come out and confronted Roman and Paul Heyman straight away. After the cameras went off at SummerSlam, he beat up John Cena because he's Brock fucking Lesnar. Do he wants.
Of course he
can. Edge and Seth Rollins rocked. What a great. Did you see Edge's entrance?
Yeah.
The Brood entrance. I mean, I was so gutted that Gangrel wasn't there with him.
Bro, our man Dave, yeah, Gangrel, I'm gutted he wasn't. But you know what I mean? The Brood still, the theme tune still kicking.
It's a banger. Absolutely. Really good match. I enjoyed that one. As well as Roman and Cena, it was a decent enough match where Cena ends up getting beat clean. Say what you will. He's a company man. He'll do his job. He does what he's asked.
And he that's right. I mean, he did the job. I'm still, for me,
he didn't lose his smile. He didn't say that doesn't work for me, brother. He just did the job. He didn't go crying off to Jack Tunney.
No, I mean, and he could have done if he wanted to. You know what I mean? But for me, WWE is still a little bit stale for me as well. You know what I mean? It's I need some more excitement. It's not titillating me enough.
Well, I think Brock Lesnar will do that, but you'll have to wait till Friday probably to find out. Logan Paul showed up. He's going to be on Raw Monday. I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, I mean, he was at Mania, weren't he?
Yeah, I think he did. He was at Mania, and it did get some attention. But him showing up on Raw, I don't think is gonna do anything.
I think CM Punk showing up at AEW has overshadowed Brock's return.
Well, it's only as as fresh as your latest memory, and my latest memory is of SummerSlam. Like, yeah, I know what happened on Rampage and that, but now we're talking about Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch. We're talking about Lashley and Goldberg's match.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, fucking, it's nuts, man.
I'm really happy for Damian Priest. He won the US title. He beat Sheamus in an interesting match, to say the least. It looked like Priest got injured halfway through. And there's also that headbutt from Sheamus to Priest, and you saw the mark afterwards on his head. Like, really good stuff. Like, I'm not advocating that people should be hard way headbutting everyone, but if you can get it right without hurting someone, then by all means. But yeah, this weekend rolls on because NXT's next up, and it is there's a Water and Dragunov rematch, which I cannot wait to see.
Yep. Samoa Joe.
Joe and Cross has gone off the boil a little bit, but I'm fine with that. And Adam Cole and his former partner, whose name escapes me. What's going on in my brain today?
Kyle. Is it Kyle?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, yeah.
I was thinking Bobby Fish in my head, and I think it's definitely not Bobby Fish. He's been released.
I mean, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole had a bit of a slobber knocker at Takeover, the last one, didn't they?
This is a best of 3 falls, I think.
Yeah, when they were smashing each other through the fucking entrance ramp and stuff like that.
So I think I can hear someone tooting their horn in the background. I think they're waiting for us to jump in the motor.
Yep. Let's jump in, baby.
Let's dust ourselves off. Let's jump in, turn that shit up to 88 and head not that far from where we are.
No.
Let's head to London. Now, I know heading to London you might think we go, oh no, they're watching Capital Carnage again. No, we're not. we are diving to October 3rd, 1991. And I forgot the date of this and realized how close it was to Survivor Series of 91.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And like, there's so much to talk about on that. But we are at the Royal Albert Hall. Now, this is a classy fucking joint. So wipe your feet on the way in, hang your jacket up, sit down with a nice cognac or something like that. Because this is going to be a classy night. I should have worn a nice hat and a bow tie, but I didn't think of it.
No, it's cool, bruv. We're all right. We get the pass. We got the hood pass, bruv.
Put on your Amstrad Sky, Sky digital box, or not even digital at this point, your analog Sky box, because we're turning on to Sky Movies Plus.
Yep.
Now there's a throwback. Sky Movies Plus.
Trust me, bro.
We weren't even on Sky Sports yet.
Nah.
It was on Sky One and Sky Movies Plus.
Yeah.
An attendance of around 5,000 for the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall for the for the main event anyway, for the coveted Royal Samovar Trophy. And there is the VHS copy, which we mentioned beforehand. I'm pretty sure everyone that ever watched wrestling in the UK had a copy of this somewhere.
And if you didn't, you're a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? Even your casual fans.
And we caught a lot of you fuckers trying to sell this copy on at the boot sales.
Yes. Every boot sale for many years you'd go to, if you saw any wrestling videos, it would be that fucker right there. Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall.
Shame on any of you that tried to sell it.
That's right. Shame on you. And it was part of the European Rampage, which was, was after the UK Rampage. Around 1990, 1991. And as Jordan said, we are on October the 3rd, 1991. I was the crisp age of 9 years old.
He's considerably older than me, everyone. I was only 4. I
was watching it, bro. I was watching it. I stayed up. I was like, I literally told my parents, I was like, I'm staying up. I don't care if I got school. It's like,
right?
No, I literally, I don't give a shit. I'm staying up, and I did.
Now this show is sponsored by the Daily Star of all newspapers. Now, if for anyone that's listening outside of the UK, the Daily Star is what I would probably call the Observer. If you were to a fucking piece of shit newspaper / rag sheet, because that's what this newspaper is. It's a rag sheet. It's like the Sun, it's like the Mirror, all those crappy newspapers that, you know, I mean, you hate to generalize, but they're garbage, absolute garbage newspapers.
The Daily Star was the paper that, you know, if you wanted to spank the monkey, you would get the Daily Star because it had tits in it, basically. So it was like a newspaper, but with like loads of page 3 girls in it. And if you don't know what a page 3 girl is, shout out to our fans in America or whoever. It's basically in the newspapers. On page 3, you used to have, you know, a chick with her lils out.
A bird with her tits out. That was it.
Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it. That's what we've grown up around. So that's why we're messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was, for some reason, we're sponsored to that, like here at the Battle Royal by a really shitty newspaper.
Yeah.
But I mean, the shots, the camera shots, what a venue this is.
Royal Albert Hall, mate. When I was at school, we had like this, it was like a choir contest, right? And it was like loads of schools went into this thing and done like this choir thing. And then we went to the Royal Albert Hall, and where that ring was, we sat in that middle bit and sung like hymns and songs and all that. And everyone, no, don't laugh. You're just hating, bruv. So I've been in that middle bit there, singing hymns, singing songs with me, you know, the folks all around the outside and that, you know what I mean? I think it was a Christmas thing. So, you know, little donkey, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Donkey.
Yeah, man. On this dusty road. You know that tune.
Chris was in the choir.
Bruv, old school bangers, bruv, from back in the day, sitting cross-legged in the hall, assembly tunes.
Do you reckon you could throw up a little remix and like have a bit of garage on that?
Blatantly, it's all about the garage.
Garage donkey.
Shout about people just do nothing, man. Big show. So yeah, I've been in the Royal Albert Hall, very classy venue, like Jordan's saying. It's got the royal box. It's got some absolutely huge organ in the corner, which we see more of later on. Classy, bro.
If I could liken it to anything that people might have seen, if they've not seen the show or don't want to access it or can't access it on Peacock, because I don't know how that's working at the minute in the US. If you watched the NXT UK Championship tournament, the UK Championship tournament when it first came into Blackpool, and like you saw the venue, like the interior of the venue of Blackpool's, what is it, Winter Gardens?
Yeah.
It's, think of that, but think of like 10 times classier than that, with a royal box and everything else in between.
Yeah. It's got like
really quality venue.
Yeah, like red satin boxes all around this like circular kind of Colosseum type shit. It's like the Royal Albert Hall is classy as shit, dude. It's like, you know,
the fans in attendance could barely hang on to their monocles when Davey Boy Smith came out.
Absolutely, they were spilling their tea as he was coming out. You know,
we are welcomed by one of the greatest duos in commentary history, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan. Bobby will correct Gorilla straight away, dear chap.
Yeah,
it's Robert of Heenan.
Lord Brain.
Lord Brain, indeed.
The way it's just the way he does it. It's just classic, like Heenan. He just waits for Gorilla to finish his thing, and he's just like, "No, no, 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 good sir." He's like Sir Robert of Heenan, Lord Brain. Like,
something he will do all night long, and it's
class.
Really, yeah. We get into the matches pretty quickly because, you know, that's what we're going to do, because there's for a show like this, it's quite a lot of matches to get through. And I mean, here's a man that's working uber double duties tonight. I hope this guy got paid a ton. Jimmy Hart. He is everywhere on this fucking show. At this point, he brings out the Nasty Boys, one of Jameson's least favorite wrestling teams, I might add. He mentioned that on a show with us. You can go and check that out anytime on either, our wrestling podcasts, wherever you get them, all the good places, or on YouTube. See how I get these plugs in.
Love it, bro.
So yeah, Jameson did not like the Nasty Boys. We get a nice little pop for the Rockers, who are the opponents, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, who are a couple of months away from splitting up.
That's right. I think
Interesting.
because this match kind of again sets a little bit of a tone. If we'll get to it.
Marty Jannetty blows his nose on one of the Nasty Boys jackets, and I could have sworn that a load of talcum powder or something just came flying out like that jacket, like when they handed it over.
Talcum powder, yeah.
Yeah. It was just a bit
Johnson.
Of yeah.
Johnson and Johnson.
I'm not suggesting anything right now.
Okay.
This is one of those shows where it's in the UK, and the UK at this point is starved for big time wrestling. They've been UK wrestling been booted off TV by was it Greg Dyke, the man that went on to be in charge of the FA, our Football Association, all that shit.
Yeah,
he was in charge of ITV at the time, and he had enough of wrestling, so he kicked it off the air on a Saturday afternoon. So there wasn't a lot of wrestling around on television. You had WCW on ITV affiliates.
LWT.
Yes, because they weren't all on at the same time in the
so that's the thing, because you had in the UK it was like Channel 3, but on the weekends or whatever it was like London Weekend Television, or you had Anglia, so you had it was weird. But
Anglia would stick WCW in a graveyard spot of about 2 a.m.
Yeah,
shame on them.
Yeah.
Bastard.
LWT used to play at I think 1:30 in the afternoon after Thunder in Paradise
on a Saturday.
Yeah.
My poor dad had to, set the video recorder and all that so I could watch an hour of WCW, in worldwide.
It was worldwide, yeah. WCW,
yeah.
Yeah, bro. Remember that shit?
But yeah, we move on. So yeah, they start for a lot of wrestling action, and I mean this crowd's into every little thing.
Popping
easy night for some of these guys.
Yeah.
Lots of crowd interaction, especially from the Rockers doing the fake tags, and the refs asking the crowd, and the crowd are really into it and agreeing with anything the Rockers do. At this point, I will say 2 beautiful super kicks from Shawn Michaels. Anyone that's doing super kicks, go back and watch them and take note, and that means you, Matt, and Nick. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even talk about poor old Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, did we?
We didn't, but
by
now people will know that they didn't win.
Yeah, of course.
They're having to go through a tournament to see if they can face the Young Bucks in a cage at All Out.
The Young Cucks.
In the midst of all of this, I hear Gorilla Monsoon call the Real World Championship belt, which is being carried around by Ric Flair, and it's just the WCW/NWA title, a piece of junk.
Yeah.
And that must have got up a few noses.
Oh, of course it did. Gino didn't fuck about, mate.
He does not. He is very much a WWF man, and he always would be. And yeah, that was every now and again you'd get a little slice shoot dig from Gorilla, and I loved it.
Oh, we're here for it.
We got lots of outside tricks from the Nasty Boys. Something that confused and annoyed me was the rest hold from Knobs when he was standing on the apron resting for 3 minutes. He got in the ring and put on a rest hold.
Yeah.
I was like, are you that out of fucking shape?
Well, yeah, they are, clearly. He was fucking Nasty Boys.
Well, yeah, a lot of people said, yeah, they were. Ref originally didn't see the hot tag, and then he does see the hot tag. It's like this match sort of fell apart because there was huge confusion before the end when the ref counted a 2 when Jannetty, I think, was on top of someone, and it sounded like there was a third slap of the mat. So the fans cheered. Even Gorilla and them said it was over.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Something else must have made that sound. And Knobs uses the Jimmy Hot's megaphone on Marty Jannetty, which gives the Nasty Boys the win. And then you see Shawn Michaels throwing a bit of a shit fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sowing the seeds ever so slowly. And I love it.
Yeah.
Like, not just beating the shit out of him there and then and hot-shotting the whole thing. They took their time. And I mean, this is probably 2 months, maybe 3 months before Jannetty tries to dive through the window to escape.
Yeah, he does.
Act of cowardice.
Act of cowardice. That's it. Jumping through the window to escape.
There's a lot of cuts to Mean Gene in this, so we're going to just keep going. He is with Ric Flair.
The real world champion.
The real world champion, Ric Flair. Ric Flair says he wants Roddy Piper, and he's the man. We get a big woo. I'm going to do it. Woo!
Do it, baby. Honestly, this is prime Flair. This is, Flair had literally just joined the WWF at this time.
Yeah, he joined in the summer. Yeah, so
he'd been there a couple of months. Excuse me. So yeah, he'd been there, a few months, just getting involved in it. Love to see it at that time. It was great.
It's peak WWF, isn't it?
Yeah, it's peak Flair.
Yeah. It's Tito Santana, and as the ring announcer Mel Phillips describes him, the self-proclaimed real world champion Ric Flair. Bobby Heenan suggests that they'd like Rick to be the prime minister.
Yeah.
When you're thinking back at the time in 1991, you might be right.
Would have been a good shout. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not sure who's in charge at this point. Is it?
Who is it? John Major? No.
Or Major?
It might have been John Major, or it might have been Tony Blair. I don't.
No, Blair was way later.
Yeah, so it was John Major. I'm pretty sure.
Now, when did Thatcher step down?
Before 91, I'm pretty sure.
It was John Major. Yeah, he could have taken over John Major's job.
John Major was the leader of the Conservative Party from 1990 to 97.
There you go.
So he may well have been. He resigned in 1995. So yeah, John Major. Yeah, I think it was John Major.
Yeah,
sure.
So they'd like Ric Flair to be the prime minister. Rick is using every trick in the book, everything he's got. Only thing about this match is, and this isn't a jab on anyone, it's that it was moving at the pace of a Flair match that was going to go 60 minutes. Because it always picks up in the last 15 and last 20. And it really goes into high gear. But this match was never going an hour.
Nah.
This was going to be 20 minutes at most. It wasn't even that. But it was at a slow pace, and I just couldn't quite get into it. Bobby Heenan, however, is really Ric Flair's mouthpiece whenever Ric Flair's not on the microphone, and it is just class. Everything.
It's brilliant. Everything he's coming, he's talking about, when Flair comes in and he's in the ring, and he's got the WCW belt still, and he's wearing it on their, these shows, and he's
whipped it out on Sky Movies Plus.
Do you know what I mean? He's just fucking whipped it out, and Heenan's like, I feel like I should stand up for this, and then they cut to a thing of Heenan just standing up saying, stand up, Monsoon, and he's like standing there with his hands up, and Monsoon's like, will you sit down, and he's like, no, you should be standing. This is the real world champion, and he's like, he's talking about tea and trumpets,
It's something else. I can't remember when he mentions it, but he does say that he's got an invitation from old Charlie.
Yeah.
Of tea at Buckingham Palace.
That's right.
And he hangs on to that one for a while on this show.
Brilliant.
There's a really long figure 4. I didn't like that spot either. That either should have won the match or that he should have broken out of it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit long, but it did allow Bobby Heenan to say the line, "Ring the bloody bell, mate," which was just fucking incredible. Ring the bloody bell, mate.
You wonder why people say that we're super British.
Yeah. Love it.
Flair does his typical top rope spot, which, you know, I mean, I always find it funny. I don't think I've ever gotten bored of that.
Oh, what, when he's when he flips over in the corner, or when
he climbs the top rope and he gets caught?
Yeah.
That happened to Bobby Lashley last night at SummerSlam, but Bobby Lashley almost hurt himself. Yeah, Goldberg tried to do the whole thing with Flair, like the Flair spot, and oh man, it's bad. Go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah. Ric Flair then decides that Tito does not need his pants anymore.
Yeah, bare asses him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he bare asses him in the middle of the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, Tito's got that claim. I had my ass out at the Albert Hall.
That's true. Usually it's Flair, you know, in the cage matches getting bare assed, isn't it, or whatever. You know, we've done a couple of shows where Flair ends up bare assing, you know, showing his cheekage.
So yeah, Flair wins holding the trunks, but he really gets a hold of the trunks. You can almost see what Tito had for lunch.
You can almost see his knackers, bruv, the way he pulls them up.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled that we almost got, you know, the meat and veg shot.
Yeah, we almost saw his taco. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it wasn't a great match, but you know, we'll move on from it. Mean Gene again is backstage with Big Boss Man this time, and Boss Man says he's going to uphold the law, take out the trash. You know, very, very basic promos. There are a couple of promos that we will get to, but
the footage on the network is the live feed from the night that was on Sky Movies. But on the VHS, you get a Suburban Commando commercial.
Yeah, I think they did definitely cut that.
Yeah, they cut that because you know, Gene's talking about, that will be a great little prize for me, a couple of tickets to see Suburban Commando, because obviously Hogan's not there this night.
Well, this is the thing. There are a lot of names that don't make this trip, or make this leg of the trip. Yeah, it's so Savage, no Jake Roberts, no Hogan,
no Bret Hart,
no Bret. Yeah, there's quite a few names off the list there. No Ted DiBiase, no Virgil, no, definitely no Virgil. Making that fuck money.
Yeah, bro.
We move on to it's an in the arena interview. It's Earthquake and Jimmy Hart. I'm telling you, Jimmy's making some serious money tonight. Earthquake makes a boat and plane joke, which like. Was he not in character here? Was he just like trying to be funny?
I know. Yeah, it was a weird one, man. Yeah. It was very strange.
He also says that he's going to win the Battle Royal, which, you know,
of course you are,
everyone says that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earthquake and Jimmy stay out in the arena because they're up next against the Big Boss Man. Quake flexing. I thought that was funny. He even pulls off a couple of Hogan poses.
Yeah, someone's got to do it because Terry's not there. So,
well, I was sort of hoping that we'd get like 3 minutes of it.
Yeah,
you're going to do it properly. Having come out to Real American.
Earthquake must flex.
Yeah. Just imagine him saying that doesn't work for me, brother.
Oh, mate.
Did Big Boss Man have one of the best right hands in the business?
Oh, great. Fucking, you know, great stuff.
Yeah, he really knew how to work that punch. However, there is a long headlock rest hold really early. It's like it's almost like they're taking the piss out of these British fans.
Oh, yeah.
These guys will lap up anything. Put him in headlock for 3 minutes. Fuck him.
Because they were literally lapping it up. I mean, we, you know, like you said, we were at this time, we were absolutely starved of live wrestling events, good ones, you know. At this time, you could see a lot of wrestling at the old holiday
The
camps.
Crabtree Enterprise had fallen.
Yeah. You know, we still had the holiday camps. We still had the county shows and things like that. But these guys were loving it. You know, I mean, this was like a golden era for the WWE, WWF. I actually saw this being held up in the crowd.
Oh, nice to see our sticker album.
Yeah, dude, series 2 from around that time. You know, the old Merlin WWF sticker album. But like you say, there was a lot of people missing. There was no Jake Roberts, there was no Macho Man, there was no Hulk Hogan, there was no, you know, it was a lot of guys missing from that. But talking about sticker albums from that time as well. So this was seen in the crowd at that time. So it was being waved around by the fans. But I've got another Merlin album, which is massively British, super British, as we've been called. And it's a little Gladiators album from around that time. So this was 1992. So just slightly after. I mean, we're in October 91. So this is a British Gladiators album with some unopened sticker packets in there. Obviously, this is a complete album.
Good Lord.
Are you a gladiator? Okay. So there you go. Just a bit of pointless memorabilia because I saw someone wave a fucking sticker album. So we've got the WWF one here, which is a great album. This one,
the closest thing we had to wrestling on Saturday night.
It was, man. You know,
it was a little bit of athleticism and a bit of pageantry.
It absolutely was. It's funny because Nick Aldis, actually,
he was a gladiator.
Yeah,
newer version, that went on Sky.
He was, yeah. He was. I mean, none of the other gladiators were wrestlers back in the 90s. I think Shadow's currently wrestling probably with some screws in jail now.
I mean, I almost sent you the picture. It was a picture of him doing his favorite event, which was the duel event where they had the sticks and they would try and knock each other off these things. And his eyes, man, they were fucking gone.
Why?
Yeah, he must have done some serious racks before he got up there.
Well, that white powder that they used to dust on their hands, they had them in the, before the event. It weren't chalk, bro. It wasn't. No.
It was just in case another gladiator needed a bump before he
right.
got to it. Fucking where was I? Oh yeah,
that's it. Quake.
Earthquake. Well, Bobby Heenan in the meantime picks Ric Flair for the Battle Royal. Of course, yeah.
Obvious choice.
Earthquake catches Big Boss Man from the top rope. I really like that. I was very impressed. It was he caught him for it was an attempted crossbody and Earthquake caught him. I thought, fucking hell, like good on you, man. Like, no, Boss Man had dropped a lot of timber, like from when he joined in like 89 to 91. He was way more trim than he was back then, but still, he's a big fella. We're getting more rest holds. Don't
you think it's weird? Like, a lot of these matches on this card were literally just probably chucked together. Like, it's really weird. Like, obviously there's no storylines really going into it, apart from maybe
Flair and Piper.
Flair and Piper, yeah. But there wasn't a Flair and Piper match. It was just kind of wove through
in the Battle Royal. Yeah, it was just one of those things.
But it's just weird. Like,
we also get Jimmy Hart saying that Bossman should have got earthquake insurance, something you should all have.
Obviously.
And then Bossman hits an enziguri.
Oh, it's great.
And I'm like that at this point. My arms are like, fucking hell.
Yes, right.
Come on, Bossman. Yeah.
That's right.
He's thrown up moves that only the likes of Owen Hart and then we use in 1991.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Like, I'm all for it. And then we get the Canada's finest, the Mountie. For some reason, I think they were in the back end of a feud, weren't they?
What, the Boss Man and the Mountie? Yeah, because the Mountie had just been to jail or something.
Yeah, he'd spent the night in the Slammer in New York.
Yeah, that's right.
Their jailhouse match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Now that just reminds me of all the like the clips after he lost that match, where the the police are asking for his finger, and he's like, "You want that finger? I'll give you that finger."
Yeah.
Like for 91, that's
Close to the mark.
yeah. Mountie trips Boss Man at ringside. We get one big elbow to the back, and Quake is the winner.
Terrible finish. It was fucking terrible.
Not even his finisher. Like they're not even giving them quite the old earthquake.
No, the tremors, nothing.
Right. Boss Man chases Mountie out of there. Mean Gene is with the Royal Samovar Trophy, which looks a lot like one of those jugs you put your drink in, and then it's got the little pouring thing at the front.
It's exactly one of them. It's a fucking tea. It's a tea urn thing.
Yeah.
That you find at car boot sales and shit. Like, or like, when you used to play football and that, like they'd have tea and coffee there for the parents, like just a massive metal thing with a little tap on the front.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
Sadly, up next, it's Mean Gene with the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and this is proof that the Beak doesn't always produce a great promo.
No, that's correct. The Beak doesn't always give us
incomprehensible nonsense from Tornado. Not even Warrior good. This was just him spouting whatever he could think of.
Fist and fire, bro. He's coming with fist and fire. That's what he said.
Yeah, it wasn't good, and I literally just couldn't write anything down that would have made anything make it better. So Mean Gene moves on to the Mountie and Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart everywhere.
I swear the Mountie calls him Kevin Von Erich as well.
Kevin Von something, I think he says.
I swear he says, "Are you Kevin Von Erich?" It's like, no, that is one of them, but that's not him.
Yeah, it's a different one. He says that he always gets his man. He's the only law and order in the WWF.
And he's royalty, bruv. He said, "It's royalty. I am the law."
Bobby Heenan also suggests that the Mountie will be there for tea with Charlie.
Yeah.
And when he says with Charlie, I'm often wondering if it's with Charles or with actual Charlie.
Well, Charlie, yeah, it's so weird, like,
Why does it always come back to Beak?
It always comes back to Beak. It's funny, yeah, because I was on there. There's like a thing with soccer, with football at the moment, with Harry Kane, and his brother's called Charlie Kane, and that would be and he's his agent. But isn't that just a perfect name for a drug dealer, Charlie Kane?
Yeah. That works perfectly. We have got the Mountie and Jimmy with Jimmy Hart, taking on Texas Tornado. Kerry Von Erich's in great shape. I'll give him that. He is not the winner of our award this week. I will say that.
No. There's a few possibles.
He is in terrific shape. Wink, wink.
He's got that adrenaline.
Yeah, Gorilla
pumping through his body.
He keeps calling the Mountie Jailbird from the storyline back at SummerSlam. Oh, the Mountie's stalling here for time. Like, it's like, how do we make this show longer?
Yeah,
and still keep the fans interested? Because I genuinely think Tornado could have just sat there, chewed some bubble gum, and threw it at the Mountie or something really pathetic like that, and they'd have gone mental for it.
Yeah,
he could have taken his foot off and started beating him over the head with it.
Wow. Wow, he went there, folks. He fucking went there.
I think it's a testament to how good he was, because you couldn't really tell.
No, it's only afterwards when and then you watch him when he does sometimes favor. When he's lifting, you can see that one leg's doing a lot of the work and stuff like that. But at the time, there was no way. If you didn't know, you wouldn't know. There's no way.
Still running. I think he must have been in considerable pain. But
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was probably why he was on a lot of painkillers and stuff like that. Because wrestling with 2 feet is fucking art. Wrestling with 1 foot and pretending you've got 2 feet. I mean, the tassel factor of the Texas Tornado alone was just, babyface central.
It's it's impressive amount of tassels.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you and say that, like, because I wrote this down. I said, are they phoning it in at this point? But it's, we know.
No, they are phoning it in a little bit. You know what I mean? It's for me, this whole show is a really weird one, and I think you've encapsulated it quite well. Where they didn't really even send out the best wrestlers on the roster to this tour. So you had, I mean, Hogan wasn't there, Macho Man, Jake the Snake, Bret Hart, the real big stars.
Not even your Slaughters or your Sids or anyone.
No, there was no, they sent Undertaker, they sent British Bulldog, which was obviously the big pop.
Well, we'll get to the Undertaker because I've got some stuff on him. But this match here is a fucking snoozer.
Oh, snooze fest, bro.
Yeah,
absolute snooze fest.
Tornado tries to tornado punch outside ring, ends up whacking the ring post. Mountie gets this really shitty double leg takedown in the corner. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And he manages to get his feet up on the ropes and almost hump Tornado into a 3 count.
Yeah, he looks like he nearly had him in the same move that Ric Flair had that chick on the train in. If you've seen the recent photos.
You're going to have to put the photo up somewhere.
I'm going to have to put the photo up on this point. So how long ever we're in, we're like an hour in. I'm going to have to, because that photo is just incredible. Like, I'm pretty
sure it's not Rick, but like, I think he even made a comment about it saying, "Is
it not Rick?"
Yeah, like,
is it not? I mean, I want it to be him so bad. It is just. He actually put a thing out saying, "Yeah, it's not me because Ric Flair don't ride trains." Woo! Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm sorry, I'm just envisaging the picture now, and it's just, I was like, why is Ric Flair trending? And I just literally just put hashtag Ric Flair in on Twitter, and I was like, what?
I mean, I saw that as well and thought, Ric Flair's trending. It could be really good or really bad. Like, and then you see the picture, you go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Sorry, that was fucking. Yeah. I had to. He literally had him in that position, though, weren't it? It was like he had his legs up and he had his legs in the corner, like going for the pin. It was terrible.
Horrible finish. So Mountie gets back up to the ring as if they're going to restart the match. They don't, because Mountie just runs off.
Yeah, literally just fucking chicken shits it like he does the whole show. Literally runs off.
We get a very almost de facto funeral parlor segment with Undertaker and Paul Bearer. The sands of the hourglass have run out for Jim Duggan, apparently. It's all of that stuff. It's the Undertaker in 1991. It's all good.
It's real good, man.
We have some Phantom of the Opera style playing at the organ, the killer organ in the Royal Albert Hall, playing out the Undertaker's theme. I was sort of hoping he'd unmask and it'd be Fred Durst and he's about to do Rolling, but never happened. It's Undertaker with Paul Bearer against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And at this point, it came into my head, this is the number one contender. He would be facing Hogan at Survivor Series, would be the next pay-per-view. Where, Hogan would feign injury after not being dropped on his head.
And giving it the spasms on the floor.
Jack Tunney, and then saying his neck was hurt and all his bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got off track definitely now. Duggan gets the upper hand. Like, Duggan is over big time here.
So over.
However, it's a UK crowd chanting USA in a match with two Americans. Who are we cheering for here?
They were just gassed, bro. They were just gassed. Allow them, bro. Like you said, exactly. We were fucking starved at this point. We were just snap, crackle, and popping for anything, man. Literally anything. This whole show was pretty shit. Like it really was. Like it was absolute toot. Like, but we fucking loved it because it was like, this is the WWF in the Royal Albert Hall where Chris Dredd used to sing hymns as a child. Like, come on. There's the heat, bro.
All things bright and beautiful, bro.
Trust me, bro. You know.
Undertaker's rope walk in 91, obviously. I mean, what a visual that is. Like,
yeah.
It's just perfect. There's no, it's not old school at this point. I mean, it's something he used as a finisher, didn't he, in WCW, where he'd walk the rope and then drop the elbow. But
when he was Mean Mark, we've actually
yes.
we what pay-per-view did we cover? It was a really early one with Oz's debut.
Oh wow, that's was that a Clash of the Champions, or was that
go back into the archives for that one? I think it was oh shit, I can't remember what that was. I think it was blimey. That well, go back.
Was it Halloween Havoc?
Halloween Havoc, bro. Yeah. I think it was.
Shit.
Go back in our archives and check that out if you want to see the Undertaker and his previous guys as Mean Mark Calloway, was it? Or
Mean Mark Callis.
Mean Mark Callis. That's it. He was. I thought he was great back then as well, man. You know,
he had the tool. I'm amazed that someone in WCW did not see that this guy had the tools to, get it done. Like someone said, he wouldn't draw, and that's
who was his manager back then. Slick, not Slick. Teddy.
Yeah, it was
Theodore Long. Teddy Long.
Yeah, Teddy Long. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone in WCW didn't think he could get it done, and that's
because it wasn't that far behind, because you had fucking Johnny Ace on that show as well.
I think he wasn't that long before he joined the WWF in 1990.
Yeah, it really was. It was because it was fucking Johnny Ace versus Mean Mark Callis on that show. Look back in our archives, guys. You can check it out on our previous reviews. But yeah, that literally was maybe a year or two before this, and then now he's the number one contender for the WWF Championship.
Jim Duggan goes for the 2x4, and it's a DQ. It's not a great match, so you're not missing anything when we get.
It was fucking terrible.
The fans are cheering the guy using the weapons. Now this is the UK fans being forward thinking. We were into hardcore wrestling before ECW.
Absolutely. Them international objects, we were on it.
Philly knew nothing about us.
That's right. You know the type of hoodlum that you'd see in the Royal Albert Hall. What? Yeah. Is nothing to the bingo hall.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have slightly aggressive choir boys in the older bingo hall at the ECW arena. Although I'm sure Paulie would have used it as a gimmick. You know. Sorry, I'm now picturing Chris as a choir boy doing his thing in the ECW arena.
Wow.
Mean Genius with Roddy Piper. This is one of the better promos because Bobby Heenan lies more than the government.
It's fucking so funny, man. And he mentions Gaza as well.
Does he talks about Ric Flair claiming himself to be the real world champion, and he likens it to being as much chance of him being as champion as there is being a Boy George Jr.
Yeah. Wow.
Piper's getting it. Like he is
proper.
He's really he's chosen violence today with his promo. And it's a very good promo. And Piper in 91, we all know what's going on.
Of course.
He wants to party with Gaza afterwards.
That's right. He says he's taking that football player Gaza to the disco and he's going to ring a few bells. Now, what
better time to talk about bells?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't subscribe, do as Piper says and come and ring our bell.
come and ring our bell. So slap our bell, subscribe. This is Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast on YouTube, or you may be listening to it on our various podcast platforms. But yeah, watch us on YouTube. You get to see our faces. You get to see the merchandise. You got to see if you're watching on YouTube, you got to see a fucking Gladiators sticker album from '92. Come on, guys. Hit that bell, slap the bell on YouTube, subscribe.
You don't even have to slap it. You can be gentle. Just tickle it a little bit. It's fine.
Tickle it, whatever, as long as you light it up.
So yeah, for those that don't know who Gaza is, he's a man that turned up in a court once that I worked at. No.
Wait, Gaza, I will not have any. You will not sully that man's name.
Do I need to send you that picture? The picture of me on TV with Gaza.
Yeah, I swear I've seen it, but you will not sully that man's name. He's one of the greatest players to ever kick a football. I don't give a shit.
I'm not. Yeah, I kid, but the man was a hell of a talent.
Absolutely, and a wasted talent, really, because in his playing days, he was just fantastic. He did everything he could do in the UK. He played for England, he played for Tottenham, he played in Scotland for a few years. He played in Italy and set the game on fire. He was just absolutely one of the guys that was just a natural football player. But he did like to have a beer, and he did like to have a party, and he even showed up when there was a gunman who was being scoped out by the police, and he turned up with fucking KFC.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that story. Turned up
mental. If you all our American viewers or listeners and that, just type in Paul Gascoigne. That's who he's talking about. So, and you will see this guy's had a life, man. Like, it's fucking mental. But yes, he's been in court a few times, and you've got
he just so happened to walk into my court one day.
It's mental, like, because in 1991, I think it was a Tottenham Arsenal FA Cup final, bro.
Semi.
Was it the semis? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Got knocked out in the semis by that.
Yeah, man, it was fucking Gaza, a cracking goal. But
the last trophy you fuckers won, but
yeah. He's not wrong, actually, to be fair. He's pretty fucking spot on with that. But yeah, Gaza.
Can you tell I'm not bitter about today, like about any football whatsoever?
It's early days in the season, but yeah, to have Piper talking about Paul Gascoigne, Gaza is just fantastic.
Piper knew his pop culture stuff, man. Like he knew,
yeah, dude,
had to stay relevant and stay with it, and that was it was a good line. I'm sure that's what he said before he did.
It's a good line. Don't make me get the credit card out and start chopping up again.
Oh man, Typhoon and Jimmy Hart are with Mean Gene, and they Typhoon says it's up to the natural disasters to decide who wins the battle royal. They're not going to give away anything. They're not going to fight with each other, anything like that. Mean Gene's working hard tonight too. Don't get me wrong on that. He's with Power and Glory. He's with Hercules and Paul Roma. Pretty Paul Roma. Power and Glory. Yeah. Are you suggesting one of them wins the ICO Pro Award?
I'm suggesting that they are in the running for.
Oh, they're in the running. Yeah, I don't.
For the Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast ICO Pro Jacked Award. As you can see, these beautiful cups, which are still available from us at Chat Grapple Pops. You can get us on Twitter or Instagram. You can also
just ask
get us on
sort it out. Yeah,
we'll get you. Who doesn't want an ICO Pro Jacked Award mug? Come on, man. Yeah, they're well up there in the running.
Hercules and big time Paul Roma. Big time, is he? Yeah. Sorry, joke between me and Chris.
There's a little inside joke.
Big time Paul Roma.
Big time Paul Roma.
They say it's going to be Legion of Doom's downfall. They insist that they won't fail. Blah blah blah. Mean Gene's Legion of Doom. Animal calls them little geeks. They've beaten the best in the WWF. Hawk decides to just name injuries.
He does it a lot. He does it all the time. Yeah. He did it in WCW.
The dribbling mess at this point. This promo, he is literally dribbling, he's like foaming at the mouth. And that's more than marching powder he's on.
It's fucking crazy, bro.
Whatever he took, man, he was literally dribbling. He was all over the place. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
He's focused, bro. He is visualizing his lines. He is
one of those
in his head.
Power shakes.
Yeah, bro. He is like swelling of the fluid sac surrounding the brain, contusions. You know, this is what we dream about. He's there.
Like,
he's full on.
I just thought it was weird. Like, Animal's talking about, you know, beating the best and all that stuff, and then Hawk just starts naming injuries.
It's crazy.
Calls them sour and gory.
Sour and gory. It's just amazing. Like, you know, another very shouty LOD promo.
Classic promo.
Classic shouty. I mean, but these guys are up for the ICO Pro Award as well. Absolutely. I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah. These two, well, one, like Hawk in particular, is always seemed to be looking ready to burst out of his skin.
He's ripped for sure.
It is the tag team championships. It is Power and Glory, or as Gorilla Monsoon called them very quickly, Herc and Jerk.
Herc and Jerk, which was great.
Or, you know, or Big Time Paul Roma. They are taking on the champions, Legion of Doom. It is a massive Road Warrior pop for 5,000 people. I mean, clearly the most over guy Chicago's ever seen.
Hey!
I almost thought I could sneak that in past you. Very enthusiastic crowd for anything LOD's doing. They are really over. Like,
yeah,
don't ever get that twisted. These guys, you know, you might look at their late 90s run and say how they weren't that good, but go back and check out their early stuff. Check out the stuff they did in the 80s where they were beating the shit out of everybody. These two, they knew how to make their money.
Oh, they knew what their game was. They knew how to do it. They knew it was over. They done the business, bro. That's it.
Yeah, again, lots of stalling, it's a basic match. You know, there's a couple of bits, a few nice drop kick from Hawk and stuff like that, and you know, they work a very average basic tag team match. There's a nice hot tag to Animal, and then we get the finish is the only thing that is any good.
We also get Hawk no-selling a pile driver again.
I mean, that's Hawk's way.
That's what he does, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like someone no-selling being dumped through a table.
Bro, I was going to fuck this week. We forgot to talk about that as well.
I thought we were just trying to ignore it, but now that we're talking about no-selling.
Yeah.
Sting no-selling being put through a table on live TV on Dynamite, I think it was.
It was.
I thought it was a stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Yeah, like
he's a 62-year-old man, bro.
So it's like they just power slam him on a mattress. Fuck.
Yeah, mad.
Like, I mean, I heard Bully Ray wasn't too thrilled about it either. Like, why would you be?
Yeah,
it's you know, it was his bread and butter spot. You know, putting people through tables was his thing. But yeah, don't no sell it. Like, it's like, I mean, Sabu used to do that as well quite a bit.
Yeah,
Sabu used to go through tables. Yeah, like
he used to smash the tables himself.
Yeah, no selling pile drivers. It's not a good thing, but neither is no selling tables. Roma goes for a crossbody from the top. Animal catches him, turns it into a power slam for a 3 count. That's the best part about the whole match.
It was great, and Roma nearly broke his neck as well, because it was like, you know, when Animal caught him and twisted him round, he just tucked his neck enough not to take his head off. It was fucking great.
Now, seeing as though Paul Roma was probably the biggest star in the match, I'm surprised he did the job.
Yeah, it's weird.
He was most over of everyone.
We may speak about this on another podcast, but anyway.
Moving on to Mean Gene, who He's earning a crust here. He's with Davey Boy Smith. Bulldog smells victory. You know, he says there's an old British saying, yes, that's where I'm going. Now, I'm not sure if this is a British saying, to be honest. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
It is when you say the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yes, he said harder. He didn't say harder, he said harder. So it's how you say it.
It is.
And yes, I would definitely be putting him forward for our award this week. There is no Scott Steiner on this show. There is no Ultimate Warrior.
There's no Luger.
There's no Lex Luger. You know, our founding fathers of the ICO Pro Award, if you will.
Mount Rushmore. There are Mount Rushmore of the ICO Pro Jacked Award winners. So you've got Scott Steiner, Lex Luger. You know, there are Mount Rushmore.
There's spots available. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Harder they fall.
Harder they fall.
So
I smelt it, Mean Gene. When I got off the plane, I smelt victory. Yeah, I smelt it, Mean Gene.
This is a dead-on impression.
I love him. I love the British Bulldog.
Lord Alfred Hayes gets introduced. You know, nice pop for him. He's been with the WWF forever. It feels like.
But Bobby Heenan says that he was actually doing the parking when the Royal Albert Hall opened 125 years ago. He was the valet parking guy.
See, this is why Heenan's the greatest. Like, Lord Alfred's doing a bit of ring announcing here for this next match, which is our semi-main event. It is the Barbarian, who is big. He is a massive guy too.
Oh yeah, Barb.
But, I mean, nothing compared to all. And he is announced. His weight is announced as 19 stone 4 pounds.
Yes, bruv.
We're
nearly 20 stone of man. You know what I mean? In America, they ain't got a clue what 20 stones is.
Nah, but yeah, he's fucking huge here. And
so 20 stones, we're talking, there's 14 pounds of the stone. So that's 280 pounds nearly.
Yeah, looking at that, it's a huge pop for Davey. Like, I would have thought this crowd would have got tired with all the popping and cheering and that they've been doing, but they're not quitting tonight.
Oh, for Davey,
they've got the football horns, they got the air horn things, they're doing their chants, they're doing everything. Yeah. And they're not trying to get themselves over.
No,
it is a proper crowd.
There's no one crying. There's no one crying in the crowd.
To be fair, that guy seems to have done all right from crying in the crowd. People has all sorts, like tickets,
mate,
Impact shows and everything.
Fuck it.
I mean, if it works, it works.
We'll have to try that when we go back to the wrestling shows, bruv. We'll have to try and cry in the crowd.
Yeah. You'll get told to leave.
We'll be like, look, sir, can you please just fucking do one?
Bobby Heenan insists that Heenan Mania was way bigger than when the Beatles landed at LaGuardia.
It was amazing. He's like, Heenan Mania is running wild here.
Yeah.
It's amazing having that dig at Hogan again. Amazing.
He also suggests that the women were screaming at the airport for Ric Flair's hotel room number.
Or just what train he's getting home.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I can't move. I'm trying to move on from that. You got to put the picture up again now. Like,
we have to put the picture up. There it is.
Yeah, sorry. It's a classic WWF big man match, but Davey Boy gets technical. He's doing some good work on the arms and stuff. It's not that bad. It's not a terrible match. It's a bit long, but
yes, it is a bit long. But like you say, it's two big guys going at it. But Davey Boy's trying to be a bit technical. He ends up with a nosebleed, and Heenan says it looks like a 2-car garage.
Didn't know how he managed to get that though.
Not sure. Maybe it was the lines of marching powder before the match. Maybe just one of the maybe because he's not used to doing it with like £20 notes or 50s, because he's been in America. He might have been using smaller notes. So the English ones might be slightly,
No, money they made on that tour, he was using £50 notes for sure.
he was pinkies, baby, pinkies.
Oh. He's probably just using them and throwing them in the bin afterwards as well.
Yeah, bro.
Davey Boy suplex, always impressive. Like, he seems to manage, like, everyone manages to get up for it, and he manages to help them get that way.
That's right.
And yeah, the crowd is into every fucking thing he's doing. And he does hit that power slam for the win. And he lifts him up for that power slam. Fans know completely what's about to happen. They are going nuts in anticipation for it. And he gets a 3 count. So that's your semi-main event done. And like, next up is it's our battle royal. Well, the only good thing they didn't do was double screen it.
That's right. Hey, this was like a bit of a warm-up though for Bulldog and Bret Hart in the UK.
Yeah, they'd be doing it the next year.
Maybe it was a little test stuff, because I think
Flair and Piper's feud would roll into Royal Rumble of '92. Yeah. Right.
They were. I think they were a bit dubious about whether they could actually make any money in the UK. But I think they knew after this that, the amount of popping that this crowd was doing for every piece of dog shit they were feeding them. They were like, fucking hell, if they're doing this for, Earthquake and Typhoon, then what are they going to do for, Hogan, Savage, And
we're almost there at this battle royal, because Mean Gene's got one more interview with the Nasty Boys. It's pointless. It's garbage. It's shit.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Lord Alfred Hayes joins the commentary booth. And here we go. The battle royal is basically everyone that's worked on the show.
And Piper.
And Roddy Piper, who gets the main event sort of entrance. Everyone gets their own fucking entrance, so it makes everything longer. Normally, like battle royals, they would just sort of file out in single, like in order. But yeah, everyone got entrance music. It was like, oh man, like, this is never ending.
That was actually longer than the match itself. I'm pretty sure it was pretty close, because we'll run down the names quickly. So we had Texas Tornado, Earthquake Typhoon, Tito Santana, the Mountie, the Rockers, Barbarian, Bossman, Power and Glory, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Nasty Boys, the real world champion Ric Flair, Legion of Doom, the British Bulldog, the Undertaker, and I'll tell you what, the pop for Rowdy Roddy Piper was fucking big, dude.
Yeah,
it really was.
And people talk about pop, have been like arguing about pops like this weekend. Like, some of the pops you're hearing, like, either wrestling fans now have short-term memories, or they just don't want to look back. They weren't around and they didn't see it. So they think, oh, it never happened. I mean, there was one argument on Twitter about some guy who didn't know who Harley Race was.
Bro, I saw a comment in an AEW group, I've seen it many times, where they have said AEW right now has, and I quote, the greatest roster in wrestling history. I will repeat that. Quote, AEW right now has the best roster in wrestling history.
Right. Look, I'm going to stop there, because I'm going to cut that now, just as, like, not with any context. I'm just going to have that and just have you on a loop saying that bit over and over again.
Like Max Headroom, just AEW has the best roster in wrestling, best roster. No, it's fucking, it's insane, bro. It's insane.
Yeah, like, we can talk about pops for a minute. We can talk about some of the best ones we've seen. Hogan's return in 1990. Go back and look at it. Ric Flair's return in 98, when after WCW almost sued him. He came back on Nitro that night. Like, there were more people crying in that crowd than there was, in CM Punk Chicago crowd.
Yeah, I mean, but we can talk about pops and heat as well.
The stained pops, yeah, like, people don't shut up. Like, Hogan got a couple when he came back in 2002. Like, I think it was maybe Montreal or something, just wouldn't let him talk. They just kept cheering.
It's mental, it's
like, don't tell me it's the best pop ever when it's a guy in his hometown who's been away for 7 years disparaged the company he worked for, disparaged the business in general.
It was
Much he hated wrestling, blah blah blah.
yeah, it was a loud pop. Don't get it twisted. We're not shitting on it, but it's not the loudest best pop that has ever been. It is. There's been some
I'm saving that pop for Ric Flair's AEW World Title win.
Oh yeah,
17 times, baby.
That's right, baby, and we're there for it, mate.
It's coming.
We're there for it.
It's coming. Ric Flair's going to roll up Kenny, and that's it. So yeah, where were we? The battle royal. We said this already. I'm not the biggest fan of battle royals. I they're disjointed, clunky, mess.
They're a staple of British wrestling shows, bro. When you go to a British wrestling show, we've been part of a training academy or whatever, and it's like a lot of people's first matches will be a rumble, a battle royal,
or a rumble that can't use the word royal.
Yeah, so they just call it a rumble. Yeah, or they call it a battle royal. So it's pretty much always, it's like a staple for British wrestling shows where you would have everyone who was on the show and a few trainees and all that chucked in to these battle royals where everyone's in the ring over the top rope. We've seen a million.
I don't see more on AEW with the amount of talent they've got.
Yeah, I mean, but they did have one, didn't they? They've had the Casino Royale.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, but and this one was, we will reiterate again, it was shit. It was absolute But in 1991 in the UK, the only battle royals we've seen are at fucking Butlins.
Sliced bread, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So they were there for it. They loved every minute of it.
I mean, I'm not going to dive into every little bit of this battle royal. I'm almost tempted to skip onto the final four, which is where to be honest, I sort of took more notice.
I mean, we can do. I mean,
Flair and Piper went at it. It was always going to be that way.
Herc and Tornado were the first ones out, followed by Knobs, Jannetty, Barb, Tito. Hawk was out. Sags, Michaels skins the cat in a lovely little move and then gets knocked out. I
thought Hawk would have lasted longer.
Yeah, I mean, he just wanted to, powder his nose. So he's like, I'm done, mate. I need a hot shower. So you've got Hot Rod eliminates Ric Flair, and then gets Piper and Taker on the top rope, and then Piper eliminates Taker, and then Taker pulls Piper out. You've got another weird thing where you've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He comes back and eliminates Earthquake. So Earthquake eliminates Duggan, and then Duggan just literally rolls back in with a 2x4, whacks Earthquake, and then eliminates him. And it's like, if anyone won it, it was Earthquake.
No, I guess you still got to defend yourself at all times.
Because I'm surely you can't be eliminated by someone who's already been eliminated. If Tunney was there,
it happens in Rumbles all the time, though. Like,
Tunney. If I was Earthquake, I would have been complaining to Tunney, mate.
Tunney was probably feeding Hogan grapes on the beach.
Peeling them and feeding them to him. But yeah, there was some weird shit. But then, we can go to the final four: Typhoon, the Mountie, the British Bulldog, and the Boss Man.
Now, at this point, my pick is the Mountie because he's clearly got the pedigree.
Yeah,
he's got everything going for him, and he does manage to eliminate the Boss Man. And I mean, this is classic booking. Two heels against one baby face. It's just so easy at this point.
Yeah.
For the fans to get behind Davey, especially, they keep saying it's only a stone's throw from his hometown in fucking Manchester.
Which is easily 5 hours drive from fucking the Royal Albert Hall. Easily, bro. I went to Chester the other day and it took us from here, and we're like north of London as well by about an hour. Yeah. And Chester ain't even in Manchester. That took us easily 4 hours, over 4 hours. So It's a stone's throw, 'tis not.
Yeah.
So
A hop, skip, and a jump for Davey, apparently. Who's I don't know what he must have been taken to be round the corner from
yeah,
his
I mean,
hometown while
it
still
was
in London.
flying, mate. It was flying.
Yeah, the fans are going crazy. Typhoon ends up clotheslining the Mountie out, and let's just say you want to hear a pop, go back and see Davey eliminate Typhoon to win this fucking match. Holy shit. Like 5,000 people. Yes, we've said they were starved for wrestling, but they have done this consistently all fucking night. They haven't sat on their hands for any of it. They went absolutely mental for Davey winning this. Like, yeah, he was always gonna win. It was the bloody, it was in his hometown, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. He could smell it in the air. Victory.
In Manchester/London.
That's right. He was actually announced because he's from Lancashire. You know what I mean? He's not even from Manchester. He's from like the outskirts or whatever. But he was announced from Lancashire. His actual town he's from or whatever. In Lancashire. So the pop was just incredible when Typhoon gets back body dropped out.
Yeah. The natural disasters come in to attack Davey and rain on his parade. And this is another mad pop moment, because on a fucking crutch and all, out comes Andre the fucking Giant.
Yeah. Amazing.
Even Bobby Heenan, like, eighth wonder of the world, all that stuff. It's like, sweet Jesus, Andre the Giant has made the trip. Hogan couldn't make the fucking trip.
But Andre did.
Yeah, Andre did. And Andre helped see off the natural disasters. You think he hits Earthquake with the crutch as well.
It's mental. It's like Hogan saying no to the collision in Korea. I don't think I'm going to make that one, brother. And it's like, we need you to go to the UK, Royal Albert Hall, Terry. I don't think I'm going to make that one, brother. But Andre's like, yeah, fuck it, man.
Well, Andre, it's if we're measuring it in the London-Manchester sort of scale, it's only a stone's throw away from France.
That's correct. It's actually, London is probably closer to like Calais than it is to Manchester.
And yeah, we get a very, very classic "So Long Everybody" from Gorilla Monsoon, and we get this bit I couldn't stop chuckling. We got a cheerio from Bobby
cheerio.
and Lord Alfred.
I mean, you've got Davey rolls out, Andre the Giant comes in to help. Absolute scenes.
Yeah.
Cheerio, and there we have it. That is, Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall. Wow. One of the worst shows you could probably ever watch.
I don't know. I know we've sat through worse.
We have sat through worse.
We've really sat through worse. But I mean, you're right. It's not a brilliant show, but it's one everyone in the UK who has any sort of inkling of wrestling in that era probably still has the fucking tape.
Yeah, well,
we all know it. We all remember the sleeve from the cover and all that stuff. Like, LOD on the front. It's just real classic piece of
British wrestling history.
Of our time, enjoying wrestling. So it was fun. It was fun to go back, but it was also very real watching them take the piss. Yeah.
They literally did just like, fuck it, they'll eat it up, Yeah. They really will. So it's I wonder when the UK Rampage tour. This was 91 as well. So the UK was at Docklands Arena. We might have to do this one, dude. The UK Rampage.
Okay. Was that the one that was like a little bit before then? Was this possibly?
I think so. You've got Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter.
I think this is like the post WrestleMania tour.
Yeah. Jake Roberts, Ted DiBiase. This is, and who's based in fucking Enfield?
Silverfish.
Yeah, bro. You remember? No wonder Enfield Town FC have got NXT UK. That's crazy. And the UK Performance
When's your
Centre.
shirt arriving?
Huh?
When's your shirt going to arrive?
I'm not sure, man. I've pre-ordered it, so
Are you going to wear it on the show?
I absolutely will wear it on the show, 100%. I'll probably wear it to a couple of wrestling shows as well when we actually get out and about. There's a few wrestling shows coming up. September time, I think.
We have to chat about that then, aren't we?
We spoke about one, but I think you would.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, I've got things going on that I can't escape.
To be honest, I didn't really fancy that show.
Nah.
But it was just I've been starved of live wrestling.
We will get there. We will get there.
So, I was literally chomping at the bit. I saw it come up. I was like, "Oh, should we go to this, Jordan?" And he was like, "No, I can't make it." I was like, "Okay, cool." I looked at the cut. I was like, fuck it, man."
So with that, we move on. Next week, the cat is already out of the bag. We made the open challenge, the offer to our friend Bishop at TW Takes Podcast. He gladly accepted. So next week we will be shooting with Bishop, and I think we could easily go 2.5 hours on that.
We can go as long, we got the stamina, baby.
We can go into the night like,
know what I mean?
Like Ric Flair used to.
Trust me, dude. Bishop is coming for a ride on Space Mountain next week. We will not have his legs held up like Flair does on the train.
He's not getting the train. Yeah.
He's not getting. Yeah, we're not getting. Fuck's sake, we've already gone there. We're not going to run a train on him. Bishop, I know you're probably listening to this, bro, and it's all love as well, man, because we're both quite excited about having you on. It's fun for us to,
it's our first podcaster guest.
Absolutely.
And that's absolutely right that Bishop should be the one to do it. So
he had to be the first. He had to pop our podcaster cherry, and he is going to do that. So please be gentle, Bishop, and please use protection. Don't go in dry. At least gob on it first. Be gentle with us, because we haven't had, as Jordan says, we've not had any other podcasters on, and it was only right that it will be you that we open up for. So we're ready for it, baby.
Yeah. So that's next week. We've got literally no plan. We have got some very interesting things coming up, but not until around about September time, like mid-September.
We've got. There is something at the end of August that we've got planned that I'm trying to arrange at the moment. It is all pretty hush-hush. All I will say is it's someone to do with British wrestling, a really crazy character to do with British wrestling. I'm trying to organize it. He's penciled us in. We've got it penciled in for late August. So it's just, as we're talking, that's the 22nd. So we're in that late August territory. So we've got to pencil that one in. As Jordan said as well, we do have something for late September, is it?
September is a big one, yeah.
Fucking absolute huge one. It is absolutely massive. We don't want to spill the beans on that one, but it's huge.
But yeah, so definitely we will do our reviews as well. We'll try and squeeze one in, I'm sure, after next week, after we speak with Bishop. So, stick around for all that stuff. Definitely tune in to next week, because there'll be some very, very interesting takes on that. We have to thank everyone for keeping us in the charts for almost a week. Fucking hell.
Yeah, man, we're up there, baby.
Stuck around. Yeah, thank you to the UK. Thank you to America for putting us in the charts. That one was a surprise too. We love you for doing it. Fucking hell. Like we're just two jack-offs from Hertfordshire.
Absolutely, man.
And it sort of helps us, make that claim that we are Hertfordshire's #1 wrestling podcast.
Well, we are. There's no That's never in question, Jordan.
If
Don't
there's
ever
anyone, if
question.
there's anyone in that Hertfordshire/Bedfordshire area that thinks that they have a better podcast or they want to challenge us on that, suck it. I don't care.
Yeah, 2 words, bro. You know, absolutely.
Yeah, real massive thanks for everyone that listened, watched, commented, sent messages, anything like that to keep us around these charts and stuff. It's a weird and amazing ride. Like it's a fun buzz that keeps us going and makes us definitely want to keep going and putting out more shit, which is, you know, pretty much what this is. There's more shit.
It is more shit. I mean, we haven't even spoken. I can't remember if we spoke about what we're even going to do next. We don't.
Haven't. And that's how we like to do it. We don't like to make things keep things too formal. Sometimes we like to, you know, fly by the seat of our pants.
Absolutely, because a lot of the time we will, you know, we'll just randomly talk about something and go, oh fuck, maybe we should watch that. You know, it's just, that's literally how it happens.
And I sometimes wish people had access to what we've spoken about in our video chats, like when we're just talking.
I've actually got
some of those wrestling takes are pretty wild.
They're pretty wild, and even some of the like pre-podcast banter between us, like because you know, Jordan clicks record or whatever on the old Zoomage, and then, you know, we're still talking about some shit we're talking about, you know.
Talking about the blooper reel.
But the blooper reel is just incredible. We should really do like a blooper reel. We've got the footage is there, bro.
I think drip feeding bloopers could be quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe don't keep it as a reel, but just have it as like, you know, little clips here and there, like just to keep everyone laughing. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. I don't think we have anything else to add. You have seen NXT by now, so I'm glad. I'm hoping everyone enjoyed it. I hope it was as good as the hype, you know, sort of gives it. But Raw will have probably sucked. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward
to find us.
So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to NXT personally as well. I'll be watching that tomorrow when I'm at work. I'll have it on.
Oh yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed tonight. I'm not staying up again.
You know, no, I'm not staying up. I've got an early start in the morning, but yeah, I'll definitely be watching it tomorrow. I'll have it on because I'm excited to see Joe come back. I mean, seeing him jump through the ropes again was just incredible because I'm a real mark for Samoa Joe.
We've been Joe marks for a long time, and it's
mate, for years, for many years. So yeah, we're excited for that. So like Jordan said, thanks everyone for watching, listening, paying attention, fucking tweeting us, messaging us, you know, having the banter. Shout out to all our podcasting friends. Shout out to our next guest on the show, who's going to be our first podcast guest on, Bishop at Terrible Wrestling Takes. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be the next show. And then, yeah, whatever pay-per-view we watch next, it won't be WWF or WWE. It will probably be TNA, WCW, something like that. But yeah, from myself, Chris Dredd, JB, I guess that is... a cheerio.
Cheerio. So long, everybody. Take care.